views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
And hello and welcome to Open, the one and only show that opens the Bronx and the rest of the world right to you. I'm your host, Darren Jaime, and today we'll update you on what's happening in and around our community. Coming up on today's show, the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce will drop by to tell us about a festival kickoff party that you don't want to miss. Then we'll give you an insider's look at Lehman College's 46th commencement. You'll be able to watch it virtually anywhere. And after that, we'll catch up on the latest in sports when we hit the Sports Corner with Bobby C. And then find out what local farmers market are not only working to make sure that you eat healthy, but how they're improving communities with a block beautification day. And finally, we'll talk to the director of a program that is addressing pressing health issues for the LGBT youth. All this and much more is heading your way because right now, we're officially open. And hello everyone, I'm your host Darren Jaime, and today is Wednesday, May 28th, 2014, and of course you're watching Open, the only live and interactive program bringing the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. We want to encourage you to stay connected to us so you can find out about us on Twitter at BronxNet Television and Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. Kicking things off, the population of the young LGBT minority men in the Bronx are at the greatest risk for contracting HIV. The rates of those testing positive increasing daily. The Adolescent AIDS program at Montefiore is launching the LGBT program for youth and families, a symposium that's going to address some of the issues that are pressing against the LGBT youth. And here to tell us more about the program is the director of the Adolescent AIDS program at Montefiore Medical Center, Dr. Donna Futterman, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Darren. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good. A little bit of an alarming statistic.
Oh, absolutely. It's terrifying that more than 30 years into the epidemic, we see increasing numbers of young MSM, young men who have sex with men, getting infected. In fact, young men who have sex with men is the group with the highest rate of rise of any part of the population in the U.S., and in the Bronx, we're right in the center of that epidemic. Every month, 1,000 young people are infected with HIV, and the vast majority of them are young people of color.
1,000 people?
1,000 every single month. That's 12,000 a year. It's shocking that this far into the epidemic, we still have such high numbers.
Any real reason why we're seeing these numbers rise?
I think a lot of it is that people have forgotten about HIV. They don't see people sick. They don't see people dying in the way they did. And as a society, we have, in a way, dropped the ball. It's said that every 5 years there's a new generation, so the kids in high school today won't be there in 5 years. So unless we give them information about HIV and AIDS that's fresh, that addresses their concerns, we're going to really miss young people. They're just not going to know about it. So we need to keep at this, and we can't drop the ball, or it shouldn't surprise us that we'll see increasing numbers.
Now, are young people the ones that are extremely high risk right now?
Absolutely, and that's because they didn't live through the years of the epidemic. I don't know if you saw or heard, or your readers saw, or your watchers saw or heard, but just this weekend, HBO had a show on TV called The Normal Heart. And what that was a review of the early days when we had nothing, when tens of thousands of people were dying of HIV and AIDS because we didn't have medications. But right now we see that HIV and AIDS is much more treatable, so we don't have the images of people dying, getting sick, and young people don't realize that the epidemic is still here, and despite treatments being much better, it is not something that you want to get.
There's a problem, though, because in many instances, this is preventable.
Yes.
And yet, and still, the education is not out there, or at least people are not even taking advantage of the fact that this is preventable. So, I guess what, for somebody who's out there watching, can be done to prevent HIV that we can be able to share with our viewers?
Well, the first thing is to realize that HIV and AIDS is still here. It's affecting our youth. The second is it's affecting some of the most vulnerable members of our community. So young gay men are not embraced in society. Despite things being much better for gay people, we have gay marriage, there's still a lot of prejudice and discrimination so that young gay men feel they have to hide, they can't be open in the schools. So that's one part of prevention, is we have to talk about and value their lives the way we value absolutely every young person. The second is we've made even progress in prevention. Now you can take an HIV medicine every single day, a pill, and virtually prevent getting HIV and AIDS. So that's another piece of the prevention. Then we have to let go of our unwillingness to talk about things like condoms. I mean, when do you see condoms on TV or in videos or in the movies? It's still not part of everyday culture, and it's not integrated as an expectation. If you're going to have sex, you got to wear a condom. The same way you get in a car, you got to put on your seatbelt. So we need to keep up these messages. We've had seatbelt laws for years, but we have to keep launching campaigns to let people know that seatbelts save lives. So we need to do the same thing with condoms, with other forms of prevention.
So next Thursday, June the 5th, is going to be the symposium. It's going to be this conversation and this dialogue.
Yeah.
For people who are going to be a part of the symposium, what are they going to be actually able to partake in?
Well, the first thing is family. The lives of gay kids are so affected by how their parents feel about them and treat them. So we want to engage parents, we want to engage churches, we want to engage community organizations to let them know that explicit support of gay kids is crucial for their health and indeed for their very lives, whether it's higher rates of suicide or risk for HIV. These kids, if they're rejected by their families, have 3 to 5 times the rate of bad outcomes happening to them. The second is we want young people to know that there's a place for them, that there's health care available for them at all of the Montefiore clinics that's going to be gay friendly. We're even launching a program of health care for transgender kids who really suffer greatly in a system that doesn't understand them and provide them with the love, support, and proper care that they need. The third is we're going to be working with medical providers all over the Bronx to improve their care for young gay men, for lesbians. I mean, there's so many myths out there. Lesbians want to have children. In fact, there are more gay families in the Bronx than any other part of the city. Mm-hmm. So we need to really embrace that through our health care and through our mental health care, that the gay community is part of our community and is a strong part of our community and leading.
When you talk about young gay men particularly, what are some of the major issues that are actually affecting them right now?
Well, I would say the number one health concern is HIV and AIDS. This is a devastating, life-threatening disease that you don't have to get, yet more and more young people are getting it. At least once a week, sometimes 6 times in a week, we'll get a referral of a new young person who's just found out they were gay. And what a heartache to feel young black men or young Hispanic men getting this infection and they don't even realize they're at risk. The second is sexual infections. I mean, sometimes people brush it off. Oh, I had chlamydia, I had gonorrhea, I had syphilis. It's not something to brush off because it affects your health. You can transmit it to others. Almost half of all young gay people in almost every single culture in the world have sex with the opposite sex. So if you're a gay man, you're not just having sex with men, you're also, half of you guys are having sex with women. And so anything that affects young gay men not only is important for them, but affects society at large.
So we have the Adolescent AIDS program at Montefiore Medical Center, and Dr. Donna Funderman is here with us. For somebody who wants to know more about your program, give us a little bit about it before we have to let you go.
Thanks so much, Darren. The Adolescent AIDS program has been around since 1990. We've provided care for HIV-positive youth. But in the last year, we realized that we could expand our services to work with all gay kids, not just those with HIV. We've done testing for years, and testing is a crucial part of the work that we do, testing for HIV. But we need to dig deeper. We need to reach the young people way before they're at risk for HIV and help reinforce that their lives are incredibly important to all of us in the community.
Well, we want to tell you that if you want to find out more about this, the LGBT program for youth and families, Thursday, June the 5th from 1 to 6:30 at the Tishman Learning Center at Montefiore, 100 East Gun Hill Road. And for more information, you got to RSVP by May the 30th. As you see the contact person, if you can't see on your screen, Lindsay DeBose at 718-882-0232. And or you can visit the Montefiore website. There you can find out more information and be a part of this very special symposium as we try to put a dent in this problem that is seemingly plaguing our community. And Dr. Futterman, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
Thanks, Darren. It's great to be
Good to
with
have you. Good to have you.
Yes.
Stay right here with us, and we want you to stay right here with us because we do have to take a quick break. But when we return, well, we're going to take a break. But right now, how about that? We'll go to Bronx Net correspondent Justin Rodriguez, who took us to the Bronx Ball 2014. Our cameras are there, and Justin has this report.
The Bronx Ball is the Bronx's annual red carpet event that honors the best of the borough. Hosted by Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr., the ball is set on the final day of the Bronx's 11-day celebration that includes borough events such as parades, fairs, tours, and much more. Each event highlights an extraordinary feature that the Bronx has grown to exhibit.
You know, during Bronx Week, we're celebrating a lot of great things in the Bronx, and we're celebrating our past, our present, but most importantly, our future and where we're headed.
This year's honorees feature an all-star lineup, with the star of a popular TV show Dexter, actor David Zayas.
You always feel a little undeserving of things, and you don't realize what you've done in the past, you know, whatever 20 years I've been acting, or prior to that when I was a New York City police officer. But, you know, my roots are from the Bronx. I grew up in the Bronx. I went to school in the Bronx, and, you know, I'm proud to say wherever I go that I'm from the Bronx.
Tony Award-winning Priscilla Lopez.
When they asked me or told me that they were going to do this, I was like, oh my God, you know, it was very exciting. And the fact that there's a sign that goes with it, you know, and it gets to be there for, you know, for the rest of the time is wonderful.
Grammy Award-winning hip-hop producer Swiss Beats.
Oh man, it's an honor, you know, especially coming from the Bronx and all of the different trials and tribulations that I've went through to even get to this spot. And it's great to have people recognize, you know, the positive side of things. And, you know, within culture, a lot of people only kind of celebrate negativity. In this case, it's something different, and I think it's amazing.
Hollywood actress Rachel Ticotin.
I feel really proud. I'm really honored. It's really special. I can't tell you how much feelings and wonderful memories I have about the Bronx. So to be honored and to come back to it it's a real kick. It's really nice.
And New York Jet player Willie Colon.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm extremely humble by it. You know, I'm born and raised here. I'm a New Yorker through and through, and to be honored is I'm extremely humbled by it.
The Bronx historian Lloyd Alton collects the key moments within our borough's memories to help us follow in the footsteps of our past to pave the road towards our future. Alton himself marveled as Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. honored him with the key to the Bronx.
Thank you all very much. I'm overwhelmed by this honor. I do things because I feel I have to do them, and I like to do them. I enjoy doing it, and I like to make sure that everybody in the Bronx and beyond the Bronx knows the heritage that we all share, and that it is a legacy that we gather together and pass on to future generations.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening. Cut the rug. Música maestro.
The magical evening of glamour and celebration captured the spirit of the Bronx, with every note played by the band and every step taken towards a brighter future. This is Justin Rodriguez, reporting for BronxNet.
Hello, I'm Dante Lemon from Open 2.0 on BronxNet, the show by teens, for teens, and about teens. Catch us every Friday at 4:30 and anytime on the web by going to www.bronxnet.org.
Hi, this is Jeff Fox for 107.5 WBLS, and when I get off the radio, I check out my man, the Dr. Bob Lee. It's open on BronxNet. I never miss it.
The Kings Kingsbridge Riverdale Farmers Market not only features local farms with fresh produce that is never sprayed and all organic, it also wants to beautify our community. Here to tell us how they plan to do it are co-founders Lucy Mercado and Consuelo Hernandez, and welcome to Open.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Well, you're coming by and you're talking about beautifying the neighborhood, and so give us a little bit about why. What's going on in your neighborhood?
Why? There's a lot of trash around our neighborhood. There's a lot of dogs that the people are not picking up properly. So we want to be able, there's a lot of schools around, and we want the children to be able to walk by and look at a different scenery.
So the goal is really for people to love their block.
Yes.
So to really have people to throw love on their block and do that. So how can people do this now?
Well, we're cleaning up. We're going to be building tree guards to protect the trees, and then we're planting flowers as well. So we're greening the neighborhood.
Yeah. And you're getting people from the community involved. What's it been like so far? Because when you talk about caring for your block, sometimes you have people that are really right on it, and then you have other people like, what's the response you've gotten so far?
It's been positive. We've been working every Sunday to prepare for this coming Sunday, and we've been getting a good response by the children. Mothers come by and like, what are you doing here? And we're like, we're gardening, we're beautifying the block, and people want to be on board.
And so some of the things you guys are going to be doing is going to be what?
We're building 10 tree guards, and we're building a compost bin as well. This is going to be an educational site as well for the community to be able to learn what composting is. So aside from that, we have a garden at the market as well. We are located on Church of the Mediator grounds, so we have our garden outside where we feature Kingsbridge Riverdale Farmers Market. And the community is always out and welcome and gardening, and this is space for the community to come and gather.
Now, if you don't know exactly where it is, you're talking about 231st Street and Kingsbridge Avenue. You can come on out there and be a part of that, and you'll get the opportunity to be a part of a lovely, lovely event. Now, who started this? How did this come? Who's really behind this here?
I originally started caring for the garden outside of Church of the Mediator. I was helping out one day. Leave It Better is a nonprofit organization, and we were outside building raised beds, and afterwards I stayed caring for the garden. And then the idea came of, why not I have an uncle who's a farmer, Fresh Radish Farm. So I invited him over after, of course, getting permission from our priest. And then we brought in a new farmer from Hazlet, New Jersey. And this is Mi Ranchito Farm, Victor Pavia. So these two farmers came along, so we started Kingsbridge Riverdale Farmers Market with Lucy. And we kept working on the garden, so it's a space for the community now.
What does it feel like to have this thing that just started as a small, little event, or actually a small little undertaking, and now it's really, burgeoning out to the community, and you've got, it seems like it's mushroomed.
It's really exciting because of these two projects that Consuelo mentioned, the garden and Kingsbridge Riverdale Farmers Market. A collective was formed called Las Verdolagas Collective. So we have our colleague Malaika Rios, who started this coalition between us, and it's exciting. We started now caring for trees, and people in the neighborhood just are excited. The children love to come by and help out at the garden, so yeah, it's exciting.
And kids, I was just going to say, because kids can be involved in this too, but I think you want kids to make sure you have your adults with them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And the compost bin. Talk more about the compost bin.
Well, I'm a master composter to be still.
Okay.
Yes, I just
To be,
finished.
uh-huh.
Yes. I just finished my course with the New York Botanical Garden, the New York Compost Project. And this site, first we wanted it mostly because we want to be able to produce our own soil, healthy soil. We do organic gardening, so compost is very important. And I guess a lot of children don't know what compost is. And so much food scraps get thrown out every day. And it's a misyield in a way, because it could be diverted into something more positive to be able to give health to our gardens. So that's what basically it's about.
And so you're working on this, you're getting other people involved. What got you started in all this?
I have a child, which is my drive, my son, Zeus. And this is a space for him. and all the children in the community. So my drive are children.
My drive is to combat health disparities. And that's how I got started with all this. Actually, I combated my own health issues. So as I started to do more research, how food is directly related to health and the environment is correlated also how health is affected. That's how I started to become, as far as eating organically, even using health and beauty products that are actually non-toxic. So that's how I started with all that. And then that's how the market also started, just, bringing organic local food to the market so that people have access and making it affordable.
Right. And that's what I want to talk about, because I think when you talk about, especially in the inner city, the access to organic foods and the access to, organic things sometimes is a little bit challenging. Right. So do you feel like you're being a bridge and bridging that gap?
Yes, we do.
We actually got tired of having to go to other farmers markets and going all the way to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, and that's how the whole idea started. It's like, why don't we have a farmers market in the neighborhood? And, let's just do it.
So now the farmers market is out there. We want to tell people that if you want to come out this Sunday between 10 and 3, West 231st Street and Kingsbridge Avenue. And final details, what do you want to share?
Well, that's for our Love Your Block event, but June 15th is when Kingsbridge Riverdale Farmers Market opens, and it will be running till November 30th for the season. So please do join us for June 15th. It's going to be exciting. We're really excited. And next Sunday, June 1st, for 10 to 3 for Love Your Block. We'll be cleaning up, building tree guards, and inauguration of our compost bin.
Thank you guys for coming and sharing, and best wishes for beautifying the neighborhood. You guys are taking on a good task.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for coming and being with us. All righty. Well, guess what? We do have to take a quick break, but coming up, we'll hear the powerful story of a hardworking, soon-to-be graduate. But first, we go live to BronxNet correspondent Arlene Makoko from the Lehman College campus to take a closer look at behind-the-scenes setup for Thursday's commencement ceremony right here at Lehman College.
Okay, well, Darren, I'm here on the South Athletic Field here at the college, and behind me you see all these empty seats. By this time tomorrow, over 2,800 students will be occupying them. The class of 2014 makes up the largest graduating class ever here at the college. And every year college officials do all they can to bring on great speakers. In the past, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor was the commencement speaker. And this year, it's a Lehman graduate. She's the first African-American woman to be elected to a citywide office, succeeding Mayor Bill de Blasio in the office of the public advocate. Letitia James did graduate here. She was a major in psychology and later earned a law degree from Howard University, and she went on to serve as counsel and chief of staff to several members of the New York State Assembly, and as public defender at the Legal Aid Society. She was later appointed the first assistant attorney general in charge of the Brooklyn regional office, and in 2003 she was elected to the New York City Council, the first to be elected from the Working Families Party line. So a lot there for Letitia James. She'll be here tomorrow. Other people picking up honoraries, Darren. We have Valerie Caper. She's a musician here, a legendary one. Michael Balick, he's with the Botanical Gardens, New York Botanical Gardens. He's a director there. Bill Aguado, he's the former executive director for the Bronx Council on the Arts. Also important to mention, there's an Alumni Achievement Award being given to Katina Rojas Joy. She's a 94 graduate, and she's now the deputy director of the Business Liaison Office for the U.S. Department of Commerce. So you'll pick all of that up here on BronxNet live tomorrow, Thursday, beginning at 10 a.m. And I'm live here on the campus of Lehman College. Back to you, Darren.
And thank you, Arlene, coming to us live from the campus of Lehman College. And as we said, tomorrow will be a buzz on the Lehman College campus as the graduates will be front and center after a long 4 years, some 3, some 2, some 1. of really trying to get that degree, and we will bring you more information about the commencement ceremony tomorrow. Take a quick break, but we'll come back afterwards and have a powerful story of someone that's going to be right there on that graduation stage. Who will that be? Well, you have to stay tuned to find out.
I love being in classrooms like this one and learning new things. But I'm a Brooklyn girl, and I know school can be hard. It's demanding, and we kids have many distractions, lots of other things we could be doing. Sometimes even your friends may tell you that school isn't cool, that it isn't the place to be. Don't listen to them. There's nothing more important than education. It's the key to everything else. It helps us understand our world and be better people, better friends, and better citizens. So stay in school, and don't let anyone tell you that you're not good enough or smart enough. Be a star, shine brighter than anyone else, and you'll make the grade.
This has been a public service announcement of the Make the Grade Foundation. Go to makethegrade.org to learn more.
Well, right before the break, Arlene told us when and where to catch Lehman College's 46th commencement. And now we're pleased to be joined by the valedictorian of the very same commencement, Ibrahim Squire. And we thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. And first of all, congratulations to you for being that valedictorian. Tomorrow's the big day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you nervous?
Yes.
Okay.
A little nervous, a little jitters. But it'll all go away once I get on that stage.
Well, I want to tell people that, he studied political science, took part in the CUNY's Model Senate program, and he's also a student athlete, and he was Rookie of the Year in volleyball in the 2012-2013 season, and also now the 2014 valedictorian. A lot of accomplishments in a little bit of time. How were you able to do it all?
Being a student athlete, it was pretty difficult being able to manage and balance the academic side along with the social side. But I was able to have a good support system from my family to the friends that I was able to inquire for my college career. Also being a part of my fraternal organization has been essential. And the Lehman faculty members, from the professors to the mentors that I've been able to come to know, have all been crucial in assisting me to balance all of this out. So,
not everybody walks away with a college degree. Many people don't even make it that far. Some people are high school dropouts. Some people even drop out during college itself. What does it mean to you to graduate?
It's an immense accomplishment on my part because in my immediate family, I am the first to graduate. I am the oldest I have 3 younger siblings, and they're all females. And their ages are 14, 12, and the youngest, which is 2 years old. But being that I'm about to achieve this milestone, I want them to be able to see me as an inspiration to achieve greatness. And you just got to continue striving for the highest. And I believe that I am setting the foundation for them. Again, to be a mentor for them, to be inspirational for them as well. Yeah.
What do you say to your fellow students tomorrow, your fellow graduates, when you hit that podium and you have something to say?
Well, I've written my speech and it's been looked over. So what I'm going through right now is just rehearsing it and making sure that the delivery is on point. Because with all speeches, if you're not able to deliver it on a point where students can be able to relate, they wouldn't be engaged. And the message I'm going to be giving to them is pretty much their experience, because we do know that this is a commuter school. The CUNY system is pretty unique because it gives us an opportunity to attain higher education, which is affordable, and you have people around you that are supporting you. But also putting together the fact that these students, we're not the conventional students, we're college students. We have students who work full-time and part-time jobs. We have students who are like myself, who are the oldest, have to immediately after class they go to pick up their younger siblings, or even working to pay off tuition or rent or utility bills. So I'm pretty much going to be putting all this together because I believe that my experience at Lehman as you can see, it hasn't just been academics, but making sure that I've been able to nurture myself to be engaged in the community and in Lehman College as well. So my speech is going to pretty much be a culmination of all of that, putting it together, and hopefully the delivery will be on point.
Now, after you walk off the stage,
Yes.
some people say that's when life begins. What are your plans after you walk off the stage?
My plans after I graduate and walk off the stage, it's pretty much been in works now. I am with the South Bronx Overall Economic Development Corporation, which is a nonprofit organization. It's not too far from here. It's actually by 149 3rd Avenue. There's this program that they were granted called the Minority Business Center, which is funded through the U.S. Department of Commerce. I'm with them now, assisting minority-owned businesses gain access to contract, access to capital, and if they're interested in strategic business planning, we have all of those services. And even if they're interested in expanding their business to export, import, we have avenues for that as well. So that's what my plan is to do. In addition to that, although I'm graduating with my political science degree, I do not necessarily want to get into politics or necessarily law school. I do want to go to business school. And I'm, fingers crossed, knocking on wood, want to remain within the CUNY system because luckily one of the schools in CUNY, which is Baruch, has a pretty prestigious business program. So I'm in the process of doing that, but I need to also gain that work experience, which will put me in a good level.
So ultimately, what do you see yourself doing?
I see myself as a business owner. I do want to eventually go back home. I'm from West Africa, Guinea Conakry, and I came here at the age of 7. I have yet to go back. I do, like I said, I want to be a business owner. I want to go back home later on to be able to start either an NGO or a nonprofit organization where you're going to be able to bring jobs and have world leaders, countries be able to invest in Guinea and bring jobs and bring businesses there to be able to assist the fellow Guinean people. So that's the long-term goal.
How would you describe the educational system in Guinea as compared to here in the United States?
I think it's self-explanatory because everyone wants to come to America. I think that's one of the reasons why my parents migrated and brought me here to be able to get this full education, because there isn't anything like here, like America, like an American education. Once you are able to attain that, everyone holds you to another pedestal. So this is the best education that I am getting, and as I always say, each day is a day to learn something new and make progress, which I'm doing every day.
So if you go back home with that bachelor's and then, as you said, you want to go to Baruch and get that master's, what would that mean for you to be able to just go back home and be able to share what you've got here?
Yeah. Now, one of the things as well that I want to personally make sure that I achieve as well is being able to relate to these Guinean people, because Guinea is one of the Francophone nations. So I need to be able, I do speak French, I speak other languages, but I need to brushing that up to be able to relate to my fellow people. So that's going to be crucial as well. So once I've attained my master's degree, I do want to travel around and make sure that specifically to France, to make sure that my French is up to par. So be able to relate, yeah.
Well, you're on the right track, man.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to you.
I appreciate
much success.
it. Yes.
And you represent us well.
All right, thank you.
All righty now. Well, that's Ibrahim, and you can catch him tomorrow at the commencement of Lehman College. Why? Because he is the valedictorian, and we're pleased to have him here on Open It. So you can catch the Lehman College commencement ceremony class of 2014. Watch it live online on BronxNet or follow on social media Thursday beginning at 10 a.m. on BronxNet's Channel 67, or if you have Verizon Files, you hit us up on Channel 33. Well, Progones Theater and Puerto Rican Traveling Theater announced the performance of Call Me Esteban Only, Part 1 of The Desire of the Astronaut. This is a new musical thriller by Progones' award-winning Latino ensemble, Alvin Colon Laspierre, with music by composer Desmar Guevara. BronxNet correspondent Yela Luberes brings us the reports.
Lights ready. Projections ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
My name is Alvan Colon Lespierre, Associate Artistic Director of Pregones Theater, and I am the director of this new play that we are presenting, which is called Call Me Esteban Only.
Since I was a child, he wanted
It is the story of a fictional astronaut of Puerto Rican descent, and it takes place in the far future. And Esteban Only, the astronaut, is stranded after going on a very perilous mission. And what happens during the process of his being rescued is what the story is about.
He wanted to fly. I needed to fly.
I play the title role, Esteban Only, and he is this Puerto Rican astronaut who goes out on this journey, but unfortunately he finds himself stranded and he needs the help of his wife, who also happens to be an astronaut, to bring him back. The process of getting this ship off the ground, as one might put it, was actually a very interesting one because it's such a surrealistic landscape that we're living in. It's like, it's theatrical, but at the same time it's abstract. It's not very clear, so it's open to anybody's interpretation when they see everything unfold. And I think that was what the director was going for, like nothing very, very clear cut. Like I think he wanted it to be a bit more open to what you thought, what his journey was. And I think we might have pulled that off.
So I play Emily, and she's Esteban's wife, and essentially her journey is to bring Esteban home. And I'm thrilled to be working back with Pregones. They were my first professional job outside of school. So now it's been 5 years, and now I'm working with them again, which is really fun.
This play is eminently musically driven, and music was composed, it's original music, composed by our resident composer, Desmar Guevara, and he set to music the sections of the text that I wrote, and I indicated to him.
My name is Desmar Guevara Santiago. I am the musical director and composer of Esteban Only here at Pregones Theater in the South Bronx. And one of the things that I use in the process of composing the music and creating the soundscape of this play is I went to the NASA website and I picked a few MP3s with the sounds of different planets of the universe. Those sounds come to us through satellites and different instruments that they have in NASA, and they are, they are created. They sound like frequencies, and they have different sounds. So I took those sounds and went to my samples, and I create these sounds so I could compose music with them. Besides that, what I did was create Alvan, the director, and we were discovering this play, discovering the story of what we were trying to do. And at the same time, I am discovering the music.
And we're back here on Open, and joining us now to catch us up on the latest in the world of sports is BronxNet sports correspondent Bobby C.
The Bell Center has never been warm and welcoming for the New York Rangers, but diehard fans of the Broadway Blue Shirts had to feel good entering Tuesday night's Game 5 in Montreal after taking the first two games of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Canadiens on their home ice. But with a 3-1 series lead coming in following an uplifting 3-2 win in overtime Sunday at home, the Rangers lost their edge in Montreal, looking much the way they have in the past in the unfriendly confines of the Bell Center. The Canadiens won 7-4 last night and have forced a Game 6 at Madison Square Garden tomorrow night. Montreal's Rene Bourque netted a hat trick, and the Canadiens chased star goalie Henrik Lundqvist to stave off elimination. The Rangers now have two more chances to return to the Stanley Cup Final for the 11th time in franchise history. As we mentioned on the program Friday, Sunday was a must-win for the Rangers. You could say Thursday night will be as well, with Game 7 slated for Montreal. On a bright note for the Rangers, Derek Stepan returned from his broken jaw and played Game 5. He scored 2 goals in his return. Chris Kreider and Rick Nash had the other 2 scores in a game that at one point was tied 4-4. The puck drops at 8 p.m. tomorrow night at the world's most famous arena for Game 6. We'll have an insider's look at Game 4 on Friday's show, and we're hoping to be talking Stanley Cup here in New York in 2 days. Out west in the other conference final, the LA Kings lead the Chicago Blackhawks 3-1 in that series, which resumes tonight. Chicago, the defending Cup champions, are looking to do the same as Montreal did to the Rangers last night, and that's stave off elimination. When it comes to the playoffs, you learn to expect the unexpected. We shift gears from the ice to the NBA hardwood, where the association's playoffs are nearing a final as well. But after trailing out west 2-0, Oklahoma City has made a series of it with San Antonio. The Spurs, which leapt out to a 2-0 series lead, watched as the Thunder behind league MVP Kevin Durant and playmaker Russell Westbrook even the series Tuesday night, a 105-92 final. OKC is trying to do the same as it did to San Antonio 3 postseasons ago, and that's fall back 2-0 and go on to win in 4 straight. Meanwhile, Miami leads the Indiana Pacers 3-1 in the Eastern Final. For all that was made about Miami not being as strong, the Heat are on the brink of returning to the finals for a 4th straight year and could be looking to make it 3 straight titles, even if they don't have the home court in the NBA Finals. Time for some quick hitters. The Yankees have one more game tonight in St. Louis. The Bronx Bombers opened that 3-game set Monday in the win column, but young ace Lance Lynn and the Cards took the middle game in a 6-0 shutout last night. The rubber game of that series is tonight. The Pinstripers will then return home for the weekend. Derek Jeter has 111 regular season games to go in his farewell tour. Jeter had a nice game last week in Chicago, collecting 4 hits. He's batting .269 and is currently leading All-American League shortstops in All-Star voting. Mark Teixeira's inflamed wrist may keep him out of lineup again. The Yankees are trying to give their power-hitting first baseman as much time off as possible before returning this weekend. On the flip side, Michael Pineda, Carlos Beltran, and Sean Kelly are on the mend. Pineda threw well in an extended spring training game, while Beltran told manager Joe Girardi that he's excited about his treatment for bone spurs. Kelly and his ailing back managed to get through long toss on Tuesday, and he too said he is feeling just fine. Out in Queens, the Mets took the middle game of their 3-game set with Pittsburgh Tuesday night, a 4-2 final at Citi Field. The Amazons will be back in action quickly today with a 1 p.m. matinee before heading to Philadelphia for a weekend series. Mets fans were treated to a win Tuesday and one heck of an awful ceremonial first pitch, courtesy of hometown product Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. I can't even do it justice. You should check it out on YouTube. But in the famous words of Bob Uecker, just a bit outside. Maybe 50 should have taken some notes from Josh Beckett, the former Red Sox ace and current L.A. Dodger. Tossed a no-hitter this week. It is the first no-no of the 2014 season, and it came against the Phillies on Sunday. And it's a no-go for the 2024 Olympics here in New York. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio has ruled out a bid to host after weighing the pros and cons of the event. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a tip of the cap to the best American race car driver on the Indy circuit today. This past weekend was the 98th running of the Indianapolis 500, and Ryan Hunter-Reay stole the show and the checkered flag. His margin of victory was less than a car length at 220 miles per hour, plus 0.06 of a second for the second closest margin of victory in race history. The win validated his status as the top American driver of this IndyCar reconstruction era, as many have written and professed on television and the radio. The 33-year-old Floridian is the first American since 2006 to win the race. It was a victory for him and all Americans in a very mixed international sport. Congrats to Ryan Hunter-Reay. Darren, I heard that you drive to Open every Friday at 220 miles an hour, so I can see how you get here so quickly.
I get here very quickly.
You know?
Get here very quickly. Let's talk about these Rangers, man. What's going to happen?
I'm hoping that the Rangers pull it off. I'm sure you are too, and all of New York, for that matter. It's been 20 years since we've seen them in the Cup final.
It's been 20 years and a long time coming.
A long time.
And so, pretty exciting things happening in New York sports. I want you to stay tuned to Bobby C. He's going to bring you the latest, including what goes on at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, we're hoping the Yankees can win some games too.
Yeah, so let's hope.
Last night wasn't good.
That's it.
6-0 final.
6-0. It's got to get better for the Bombers. Well, got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll find out about a street festival kickoff party that you don't want to miss. We'll tell you all about it when we return right after this.
Yes, I am. Give it to him hard. No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
And back here on Open, and breaking news from the world of celebrities, 86 years old, Maya Angelou has passed away. The 86-year-old poet, novelist, and actress passed away at her home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. She was the Medal of Freedom winner by President Barack Obama. That's the highest award that's ever given to an American citizen. Famous for her book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Maya Angelou, a lot of celebrity friends from Oprah Winfrey to Sidney Poitier, Bill Cosby, to all presidents of the United States. Maya Angelou dead at the age of 86. Well, back here on the home front, the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce would like to invite you to the 116th Street Festival kickoff this Thursday, May 29th. Here now to tell us about the 29th annual celebration as the director of events for the New York City Chamber of Commerce. And we are pleased to be joined by Ms. Sulma Arzu-Brown. And thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel like a veteran of
Yeah,
Open already.
Here you go. You're doing good. So tell us about this event.
Well, this event is going to be to celebrate or serve as a kickoff party for the 116th Day Festival. And this event is taking place tomorrow, May 29th, between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m., which is going to be really an opportunity for people in the business community and even graduates to be able to network. So we have that opportunity there. It's also going to be followed by an incredible live jazz band and a couple of performers as well, just to keep just to get the party started. Yeah.
So give us a little bit about the Chamber of Commerce and the work that you guys do.
Yeah, well, the Chamber of Commerce is actually a membership organization geared towards empowering the Hispanic businesses and the community that they serve. You know, again, it is a membership organization, and what we offer is an opportunity for people to learn how to enhance their businesses, entrepreneurs to take their businesses to the next level, or if you're even thinking about starting a business, how to make that happen, right? And how to have access to those resources that will make your businesses grow. We also pride ourselves on incredible networking opportunities. There's been people that have come to our events and gotten opportunities, job opportunities, or more customers or more clientele. And even for the students, we have a great deal of people who can potentially serve as mentors. So that's the type of benefits that the chambers have.
So we want to tell you that there's the Latin Jazz Series and the 116th Street Festival kickoff party that's coming your way, and people could be a part of that.
Yes. Did I tell you it's also the largest festival in New York State?
No.
Yes, attracting 600,000 to 700,000 people of all different walks of life. We have people from the Central American community, Latin community, South Americans, Chicago, Miami, just coming over and enjoying the festivities, the different cultures, the different foods that we have for the vendors. Right. And so it's a very exciting time for us. It's over 20 blocks. That starts from 103rd Street to 122nd Street. We also take 116th between 3rd and 2nd Avenue as well. We have stages and performers, and one of the stages is hosted by La Mega and Amor.
So East Harlem will be your venue.
That's going to be the place to be, June 7th. We start off at 11. We go all the way to about 5 p.m. So, we want to invite the Bronx community to definitely, be a part of that.
And we want you to come on out there and be a part of that, because obviously when you have that many people out there, it must be something worth attending.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely everything worth attending.
I got you. So back to the chamber. Give us a little bit here, because not only do you do advocacy,
yes,
and you're helping businesses as well, and really doing the networking piece. Are we finding that more and more people are becoming involved? Because for a while, every person was as almost an island to themselves. But it seems like collaboration seems to be more the order of the day given these times.
Absolutely. It's so important. I mean, every group needs someone to advocate on their behalf, so that's the part that the chamber plays. I'm also beginning to see that even before I got involved, to be honest with you, I'm very candid. Everybody knows that about me. I didn't really understand what a chamber did or what the benefits are. So I wanted to outline that for people. And if you go to NYCHCC.com, you'll be able to, to see what the benefits are. A lot of people, they want their businesses to be promoted. They want people to, perhaps even visit their organizations or learn a little bit more about that, so that all of us can help support each other. And that's that we are definitely gravitating towards that, because we need people. There's a Spanish saying that says "Cada cabeza es un mundo," which means every mind is its own world, and that's true. But sometimes you have to come outside of that and get together with other great minds, to make things grow.
And great minds think alike.
Absolutely.
And you get the opportunity to come together. Economic development. It's something that's going on right now. We look across New York City, a lot of economic development. How are you guys able to play a part in that?
It's interesting you say that. As the Hispanic Latino community continues to grow, we realize that we have to be equipped to really deal with the global competition of this. So we do economic development seminars and teach to bring resources to those business communities and give them ways on how they can bid for large government contracts to help their business grow. And there's also assistance for small businesses, so we also partner with those resources. With the Bronx Overall Economic Development Corp is also part of our seminars and explains to our constituents, our colleagues, and potential members on how they can grow their businesses. So this is one way how we're doing. We're also going to be sending out a surveys to see how we can better our assistance to the business community, because it's important for us to hear what the needs of the people are as well, because we're not experts in everything.
You hear a lot about the term MWBEs and the fact that people should be utilizing minorities in business and making them a part of contracts and things of that nature. How are you able to help or assist or, get people involved in that? Because, given the fact that contracts are out there, things are going out, and sometimes minorities are the last ones to really become a part of these key contracts. Is the chamber able to kind of assist in that manner?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, we just added on board, she's actually a small business owner by the name of Eileen Guzzo. So she is our IT specialist for the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. She also happens to be MWBE certified. So she's also going to be joining our panelists to discuss how she did it and bring resources on how other groups can be privy to this information. And not only that, we'll be sending out newsletters, because what I want to do is give out real information that will definitely benefit our community in layman's terms. I say if I could understand it, everybody everybody can understand. If I don't understand that there's a problem, it's not going out.
Yeah. You got to be able to understand.
You got to represent the community that you serve, and everybody wants things simplified. So because the simpler it is, the easier it is for them to at least take step one. And that's what we want to push people to take step one, and then we can grow from there.
Well, before we leave, in simple format, can you tell our people how they can get in touch with you and the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce?
Absolutely. You guys can, visit our website, www.nychcc.com. You can also email me if you'd like to RSVP for this event at Sulma at SULMA@nychcc.com. Again, it is for the business community. The attire is business casual, and there's going to be great networking opportunities. This starts at 6 p.m. at Pelham Split Rock Golf Course at 870 Shore Road, tomorrow, May 29th.
All righty. So thank you so much for coming and sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Best wishes. Got to come back and visit us again.
Yeah, I will, for sure.
All righty. Well, that about adds it up for this particular show. And, it's been a pleasure coming into your homes. And I want to thank all of our guests for joining us. And most of all, you, the viewer, for tuning in. Now, guess what? If you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the re-cablecast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Cablevision's Channel 67. Now, you don't have Cablevision. You say, Darren, I got Verizon Fios. Not a problem. Go to Channel 33. If I don't have either one of those, catch us on the World Wide Web, www.bronxnet.org. We encourage you to have a great week. Don't forget to keep your heart, your mind, and most of all, this channel wide open. Darren Jaime saying take care and God bless.